Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Great League team, Kanto, ninetales, Cradily with Bullet Seed, and JELLICENT. So I think I put out some variation of this team already. I really, again, for those of you who've been around for a while, know how much I love Kanto ninetales. It plays a million times better this season, but the meta is still very ground, water heavy, and now with a few rock throw users here and there. So definitely some problems for ninetales. Add in the other fire Pokemon, which you generally have problems with, and dragons that resist fire. You do have some problems in this meta. So you've got to try and counter all that. So safe swap, I was looking through safe swaps. Cradily is a safe swap, and if you're going to be weak to ground, I don't think it makes sense to run acid on this as well. Like Ninetales is going to have problems against like mud boys and stuff. Doesn't make sense to run an acid Cradily, so Bullet Seed, not only because the charge is faster, but just because it's better for the coverage. And then instead of using Blastoise, I'm like, there's other water Pokemon in this meta that can do well. I'll have an Azumarill team coming later, but I use Jellicent on this one to cover sort of all those other issues. So Togekiss on the lead. This matchup is actually not as strong as you want it to be. Or Sphere comes very quick. Peck is neutral, so they're not like relying on Charm or anything, even though they are a fairy. I can get to an Overheat coming up here, because once I baited it and they get out, and you know what, Dunsparce coming in, I'm still going to get to this Overheat. Overheat's coming at 14 and 12 when it does 180 damage is just insane. So bulky Pokemon, Dunsparce, Corsolas, Dusclops, you're basically putting everything into the deep yellow or red when you overheat, depending on how many embers you get. So it just makes it such a good Pokemon to have on the lead and throw that overheat and bail if you need to. So that's exactly what I did. Got that overheat off, bailed. Togekiss comes in. Because I overfarmed a bit and I'm running Bullet Seed, which is quicker, I am at a Rock Tomb, which is super effective here. Do grab that second shield. You know, they're probably going to throw Aura Sphere before I take them out, which is super effective, so I'll just let this go. And come where? Back to Ninetales, because I don't know what's in the back yet, or do I just go straight Jellicent? So I'm going straight Jellicent because I think my thought process was Aura Sphere is resisted, and I can maybe force them to throw something else. That something else is just an ancient power. That's okay. Overfarm it a bit. They are not leaving. I do eventually throw the Shadow Ball. It is a Gastrodon on the back, so nice that it is coming in to face my Jellicent, because it is going to otherwise destroy my Ninetales. If it's a Weather Ball, if it's like a Water Pulse, I'm in a pretty good shape here. Getting off another Shadow Ball is enough to take out. They don't even get to a move. So even if they get to an ancient power here, I'm going to live this and get to the Surf. Also spamming at a good rate of 12-9, 12-9 here on the Surfs after the Unshadow Balls there. So do take it out. Jellicent putting in some work in this matchup. Dusclops. So this is one I've mentioned. If you do land an Overheat, this will take even a non-Shadow Dusclops to the deep yellow, if not red, especially after all these embers. So oftentimes I think I go 4 and throw. Nope, just going to go 1. Makes it more obvious that I'm just going for the bait here. So I don't know about this. Yeah, I really don't think that was the right play. I should have gone 4. Azumarill comes in. Get that Bullet Seed Cradily on. The only problem is Ice Beam is super effective, so I'm going to respect this. I'm going to shield. 1 Grass Knot does not take out, but 2 will. So I would be surprised if I don't throw the second Grass Knot either before CMP or right on CMP to ensure that I'm going to get a shield or take this out. And you can see I'm going for it right away. There's no reason to take an Ice Beam there. You take this out or you grab that shield. And they do let it go. The Dusclops comes back in. Even if they throw an Ice Punch, you know, it's non-stab and it's a Dusclops, so it's not very attack heavy. I do get to a Rock Tomb. Let's see if it's enough to take out. It leaves them with 1 HP, which is... this is one where you maybe should have just thrown Grass Knot just to take it out, especially with like 1 HP. I don't think there's a point of taking a move there. Bastiodon in the back is a little tough, right? I'm down shields. I do have Surf, which is super effective. SmackDown's got buffed this season, so these are chipping me more than I'm going to be comfortable with in the long run here. Bastiodon is half steel, so if I get this into like 50% range, it's an Overheat. So I do have to shield up a Stone Edge. Ninetales isn't really worried about charge moves because I'm not even going to survive the fast moves. So worth using on the Jellicent here. And I figured they would try and catch, so I held back. We both have 3-turn fast moves, so I'm just getting this off. And they do let it go, and I'm going to force them to throw here or take them out. And then Ninetales, because I've already chipped this to the red, and we just had CMP here. That's huge. I'm just going to very, very quickly get to the Weather Ball, and that is neutral, so I will be able to take them out. I haven't overheat loaded. I should have just overheated for fun, but don't need it. It's in the red. Weather Ball's neutral. We'll take it out. There. Galarian Moltres. I mean, I guess this is probably the best case scenario. I am getting to the overheat because I know I'm just going to outpace anyways. I am baiting because if they let it go, which is fine, I know that the Weather Ball bait is just going to be probably too overpowering in like the multiple shield scenario for them. So farming up a bit, throwing the Weather Ball. If they shield, I think I get to the next move first, or maybe it's a CMP tie? CMP tie. Yeah, that sucks. Because now I kind of have to let this go. No, I'm going to shield. Yeah, it's... If I had Acid Cradily, I'd probably let that go and just come Acid. But resisted Bullet Seed and then a resisted Hex, I don't think it's worth it. I did have an Overheat. I could have just thrown it and bailed. Out comes an Empoleon. So I had the Overheat loaded. I do chip here. Metal Sound is super effective on the rock. Hydro won't take me out, so I may be able to get to a second move here. And honestly, hope I grab a shield. And then Jellicent's going to have to come in and just absorb the damage here if they shield. They don't shield, okay. Can I get to another move? They're going to be forced to throw. I've got to overheat loaded. Because they're dumping energy, I wouldn't be surprised if I just go Jellicent and knowing I can live one of their fast charge moves here, just get to the Shadow Ball, right? Hexes are slowly adding up. Jellicent's got a little bit of bulk too. So despite the fact that they're going for their second super effective move, I will live. And then get a Shadow Ball off. It's super effective, so they're likely to shield. But if they shield, it's an instant swap to an overheat here. So instant swap, overheat. I told you Dusclops from almost full health goes down to like the deep yellow. So from 60% health is a one-shot. Ninetales putting in some work. Actually, Justin puts in a lot of work. But then you're hit with the Dragon, which you resist the move and then get hit with the Scizor on my Cradily. So absolutely worst case scenario so far. Terrible lead, terrible counter here. They may have to throw as my only saving grace here. But even so, they probably have a Night Slash coming out for Ninetales. I did lower their attack, but it's still Shadow on Shadow, and they just boosted it right back with Trailblaze. I do take it down, which is nice. I decide to stay in and throw the Overheat, just because, again, Overheat's 180 damage move, so even if you get resisted, it's like still like 120, 130 damage move. So it's still going to do an absolute insane amount. In the back is a Corviknight. So unfortunately, this thing has payback. So now it's like a half bait game, half half bait game, half boost game. See what happens here. I let it go, and they do throw the payback, so that sucks. I do get to a Shadow Ball. I think why I let that go was, if they bait there, I'm in a pretty good spot. If they don't bait there, I've already taken the Reggie to the yellow. That it's probably just in Weather Ball range. So I shield up an Air Cutter. Their attack rises, trying to get to the full farm down. I think I have to shield, but I don't. If I remember, I don't, because I was worried that the Reggie already had a move because they farmed up on the lead and they farmed up after. So I thought they had a Dragon Energy that I needed to let that go. But I don't know. I think I probably could have taken that man if I played a little better there. Marowak on the lead's tough. So instant to Cradily. Met with a Corsola. So kind of evenish. I may shield one to to maybe try to get the second Rock Tomb off. Yeah, shooting up the first one just to get the second Rock Tomb off. Ensure that the first move coming through is 2 times lowered. So that way I will live and then put some pressure on their first shield. Because I'll live this now, 2 times lowered. So I can put pressure on their shield or take switch. And obviously with Marowak on the lead, you might want to fight for switch. So farm up a little bit, not much. Do get the Rock Tomb off. They're going to let it go because that would make them 3 times lowered. Marowak comes in. You know, okay. Mud Bomb is neutral, so this will take me out. Or Bone Club. Yeah, Mud Slap, Bone Club. All neutral. They have Cradily in the back, which is tough. Having the Rock Tomb. And not getting a move off is pretty tough too. So I'm down 2 shields. What am I gonna have to do? Bait twice, or go for the overheat now? I don't know. I don't even know if there's a right play here. I assume baiting's fine because I'm likely to. And they didn't shield. Ah, crap. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Kind of tough. Cradily being obviously a core breaker, having grass for the Jellicent and rock for the Ninetales. It's what makes this Pokemon so deadly, and we've seen it through the meta for a while now. They're going to get a Grass Knot off. It will be super effective. If it doesn't one-shot, it's going to put me pretty low. Yeah, Deep Red. It's an acid, so I'm trying to farm up a bit. Marowak comes in, catches the Surf. It is super effective, but they're pretty much full health, so they will live. Non-Shadow as well, so not getting away with this one. Yeah, tough lead there, and then couldn't flip the mid-game on the Corsola. Giratina, another dragon. This time talking about Ninetales, I'm going straight Jellicent because Bullet Seed's resisted. Get met with the Steelix, you know, not bad. Hex is at least neutral. Surf is super effective. Obviously, I gotta watch out for the Crunch, but if they don't get it, then they just go Psychic Fangs. This is not a bad matchup at all. And I may let it go to try and get a shield advantage. And it is a Psychic Fangs, so that is great. They're going to have to shield R. I'm going to flip switch, and I assume they do not want me to flip switch when I have a fire Pokemon on the lead. They do shield. They're going to have to throw pretty quick, though, because they don't want me getting to a third move. That's going to be enough to take me out here. Gotta come Ninetales, and I would not be surprised if honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I stay in and throw an overheat here. I have a shield advantage. I can shield one of their moves. Overheat's going to put them into Rock Tomb range. I don't know what's in the back yet. And by Rock Tomb range, I mean like deep red. Maybe not deep red, but like pretty deep yellow with this overheat here. So there they are in the yellow. It is now Rock Tomb range and met with a Scizor. So, not great. Not game over yet, though. Because I did land that overheat. And they're going to have to throw out, so I'm going to get to a move. Which maybe they should have let the move go. There's a Trailblaze. I can farm down. And now you're going to just see the power of the Weather Balls coming at 4s here. Giratina is a Shadow, and it is in range. Embers are doing a little bit of damage here. I get Shadow and same type attack bonus on this. And so I'm at like almost 2 Weather Balls, so they let one go, and I do take it out. So basically Ninetales took out that Giratina on its own with the overheat and then the Ember Weather Ball combo. So this is what I'm talking about, this Weather Ball here. It definitely, the Ember Weather Ball combo is a deadly combo. I'm against Stunfisk here. I am baiting the overheat, hoping that even if they let it go, I still get to an overheat, which is crazy. I guess they are over farming a little bit, but this will one-shot the rest of it, and it does. So taking it in the zeros because they did not count properly. Moltres comes in. I don't know about this. I think I was worried of like getting Ninetales farmed down and then they would come in here, but they let it go. That's actually huge. Okay, that is more or less what I need Cradily to do here. What's in the back? A Golisopod. And Rock Tomb is super effective. Golisopod, I assume I just get Jellicent on this. Yeah, I'm trying to get out, but they're just going to farm down, and a loaded Golisopod obviously want to just come in here where the moves are resisted. But even though they're resisted, they still chip. Like, this is one of the, yeah, I'm shooting on Aqua Jet here. Just because, as you're going to see when multiple come through here, Jellicent's one of these weird ones. I've seen this matchup before. Maybe that didn't do as much as I thought it would. And unfortunately, I get farmed down there. I do have a Surf. What am I doing? I assume shield and get the Surf off ASAP and hope they don't have two flies here. Get the move off, man. Okay, farming up a bit so I have some energy coming out. But now I'm in Aqua Jet range, and if they get to another move, which they already have. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have shielded the first one. Maybe I should have just tried to sweep. Although I couldn't sweep with Ninetales because I just got farmed down by the Sucker Punch, so I had to shield on Jellicent anyways. So tough. I mean, yeah, good lead for me. Runerigus may chip. May go for the nuke. Why not? Grab a shield or take it out. I have Cradily, which can align after here anyways. They let it go. That's a one-shot. Sure, they were not expecting that. Get one shot. Azumarill comes in, so instant swap into the Cradily. Again, they do have the Ice Punch. I know they'll have the Fortress on the lead, so I'm less likely to shield this as I am others, knowing that they're probably going to come in pretty quick here. But I do get a Grass Knot off, so that's okay. And then I can align Jellicent on Azumarill in the ending when they probably... Interesting. Why would they let this go? Unless they have a... Oh, you know what? It is a Volt Switch. It is a Volt Switch one. Because I remember going against this, being like, why would you let me go do double super effective fire Pokemon on your Steel Bug? And it's because it's a Volt Switch one. So still... Those embers are really adding up here. But Volt Switches are neutral, doing good chip damage, and also putting on pressure on energy here, coming like from shields. But I have two shields, so Sand Tomb does lower my attack, but I can see the damage is being done, that I can just let this go and just run Jellicent if they have to throw one more move here. And they do throw right away. I assume I just let this go and get to the Surf on Jellicent and come out with a shield advantage here. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Get to the Surf. This will take out. And then I'll have a shield advantage for the Azumarill matchup, which is already in the deep, deep yellow. So that is no shot for them. Dunsparce. Well, they haven't thrown yet, so you know where we're going here. Overheat and bail into Cradily. And why I think this is such a valuable strategy. One, if it lands, this Pokemon's just as like pretty much done. So that's great. Even if it doesn't land, you have the potential to go into your safe swap anyways, and then potentially come out with Ninetales anyways with energy again. That can just kind of deal with that for the second time around. So I think it can work. They do get to an Icy Wind. Not enough to take out my Cradily, which means I will get to a second Rock Tomb here. They shield up the first one. Ninetales coming in. Gonna get the move off before they take me out or throw a move. The Dunsparce is pretty low, so I don't need to worry about that as much. It may have a move here, so I'm going to shield. Not may have a move. It is throwing a move, so I'm going to shield here. And if I get the farm down, if I remember, they top left after this. Yeah, I'm at an overheat plus a blind Pokemon. You do not want to be in that matchup if you... again, because even if it was a... Hell, even if it was a Gashadon or an Azumarill, you're still chipping with like 30+% damage on these overheats, and it just puts you in a pretty good spot. So I like using Ninetales. I think I'm coming. I think my Azu team is Ninetales Azu something. I do think Ninetales has a lot of play in this meta. It's just tough to deal with like all the mud boys and the water Pokemon and the ground Pokemon and the rock Pokemon and the dragon Pokemon, right? So you have so much to cover with all these other Pokemon in the meta. So you can do it. It just, there are gonna be times, like I'm sure I've had losses. I don't even know if I showcased them, but like I've had losses where teams have like a rock and a water Pokemon, or like a mud boy, like a ground and a Azu or something. Like I've seen it. So it just kind of like, it's tough. Like when you see those teams with 2 answers for Ninetales, it's just like there's not many places you can go. Anyways, hope you're having a good weekend. I got definitely one more Great League team, maybe a second one coming as well. I know I haven't checked yet, but I'm sure there's an event next week. We'll do that coverage, and then there's a league turnover. I think it's Ultra League and a limited cup. I forget if let me just check here. I know we are due for a little cup soon, because I know that was one of them. Am I going crazy? Is there not a little cup? Oh, maybe I am going crazy. Ultra League and Jungle Cup. Oh boy, we've seen Jungle Cup a lot over the past couple seasons. I think it had 2 weeks alone last season. And we're back to Jungle Cup this season. But it is a great league. So, you know, they do offer great league there's a great league every week here. Okay. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.